Imagine opening your phone so entitled it makes your blood boil. Starts moving
That was
miles
me,
away.
standing on a
Not
packed
only
metro
that,
train.
It's pinging
Every
inside
seat
a Lyft driver's
except for
car.
5
hours after
5
he
seats
swore he didn't
completely
have them.
hogged by one teenage
That's
brat.
how I realized the guy
Laying
who
down
drove
with
me
his
home
bags
that
spread
night
across
stole
them
my
throne.
AirPods.
When I politely
But he had
asked
no
him to
idea
move,
I was about to
he
hunt him
smirked
down
and said,
and make him
"Nah,
give them
I
back."
don't think so,
in
man."
front of his whole
Big
family.
mistake.
Because
If you've ever
that's
been
when I
lied to so
decided to teach
confidently,
him
it made
and
your blood
everyone
boil.
watching a
Hit that
lesson
like
about
button.
basic respect.
Because today's
If you've
story
ever had to
isn't
deal
just
with
about
someone
lost
who acts like the
AirPods.
world revolves around
It's
them,
about catching a thief
hit that
in the
like
act.
button.
And
Because
getting
this
the kind
story
of
is about
real-world
standing up for
justice
yourself,
most of us only
claiming
dream
your
about.
space, and watching
It started
instant
as a
karma
perfect
unfold right
weekend.
before your eyes.
I was visiting
Now
friends
let's
in
get
another
into
city.
it.
The
kind of
commute
reunion
from hell
that makes you forget
started
how
like
fast
any
time
ordinary
moves.
day.
Laughter
I had
bouncing
somewhere
off
to
bar
be.
walls, bad
Not
karaoke,
late,
but
close
inside
enough
jokes
that I
from
didn't
years
want to
ago.
waste a second.
One of those
I took the
nights
metro,
that feels
headphones
untouchable.
in, minding
By
my
the
own
time we
business.
spilled out onto
You know
the
that
sidewalk,
feeling when the train
streets
doors
were
open
blurred
and
with
it's
neon
packed.
and street
That
lights.
heavy rush of
We
body
ordered a
heat,
lift,
the smell of
piled
too many
in,
people
and
in
let
too small
exhaustion
a
take
space.
over.
Everyone
Everyone
pretending
pretending
not
not
to
to
make
make eye contact while trying not to
polite
bump
but
elbows.
distant.
Eyes
That
flicking
kind
up
of
in the
crowd.
rearview now and
I
then.
scanned the car
Nothing
for
strange.
any open seat.
Just another
Nothing.
ride home.
Just a
What I
sea
didn't
of tired
realize as I
faces
climbed
and
out and
standing
shut the door
passengers gripping
was that
the
a
metal
tiny,
poles.
expensive
But
piece
then
of my
near the
world
back,
had slipped
I saw
between the
them.
seat cushions.
5 empty seats.
My AirPods.
Except
They weren't
realization.
really empty.
The next morning,
Scene
I
two.
reached for them
The
automatically.
entitled teenager.
Tea pocket.
There he was.
Teabag.
Some
You know
teenage
that
kid,
slow
maybe
wave of
16,
dread that starts in your
sprawled
stomach
across
and
all
creeps
5
up your
seats
spine.
like he owned the train.
I
One
tore
leg
through
hanging
my
off the
luggage
side.
like a maniac.
His bag
Convincing
taking up another
myself
seat.
I just misplaced
His
them.
phone blaring
But then it
music
hit
loud
me
enough
I'd
for
had
the
them
whole
in the
car to
car.
hear.
I checked
That
my
tinny,
Lyft history,
overblown
found the driver's
sound that
name,
makes
and
even
sent
good
a lost
music
item report
unbearable.
right away.
He wasn't
Within an
asleep.
hour, he responded.
He was
His
awake,
message was
scrolling,
short,
bobbing
almost
his
too
head,
casual.
completely
Sorry,
ignoring
I
the
checked
dozen
my
people
car.
standing around
Didn't
him.
find
Now,
anything.
I'm not the
I
confrontational
stared at
type.
that message.
Usually,
fighting
I just
the
sigh
urge
and
to
move
call
on.
BS
But
immediately.
that day,
Still,
maybe
I
it
wanted
was
to
the
believe
heat.
him.
Maybe it was
someone
how
else
smug
took
he
them.
looked.
Or
Maybe
maybe
they
it was
fell
just
under
the
the
fact
seat
that this
and he
kid,
really
this
didn't
one
see
person,
them.
so I let it
Decided
go.
his comfort
Or
mattered
at
more
least
than
I
everyone
tried
else's.
to.
A day
I took a
later,
breath,
I was back
walked
home,
over,
getting
and
ready
said
for
as
work when
politely
my
as I
phone
could,
buzzed.
"Hey,
A notification.
could you move your bag
Your
so I can
AirPods
sit?"
have been
He
located.
looked up at me,
Froze.
slowly.
My heart
Rolled his
jumped
eyes.
as I opened the
And
Find
with
My
that
app.
lazy grin
There
that
it was,
only a
that
cocky
tiny
teenager
green,
can pull off,
bouncing
said,
all around the
"Nah,
same
I
city
don't
I
think
just
so,
left.
man."
The
I
route
swear
looked
the air
familiar.
changed in that
Busy
moment.
streets,
The
coffee
music
shops,
was still
grocery
blasting.
stores.
People were
The
still
AirPods
playing with
were
the
on the
motion of the
move.
train.
And
But
here's the
everything
kicker.
inside me
The
just
movements
stopped.
looked
I could
exactly
feel
like
my
a driver
pulse in
doing
my
Lyft
neck.
runs.
That mix
That's
of
when the
disbelief
disbelief
and anger
melted
that
into
tightens
something
your jaw.
sharper.
I
Anger.
tried to process
I
it.
remember whispering
Maybe he
out
was
loud,
joking.
"You've
Maybe
got to be
he didn't
kidding
hear
me."
me right.
The nerve,
But no.
the pure audacity
He just
to lie
smirked,
straight to my face,
turned his attention
and then
back
just
to his
keep
phone,
using them like
and
nothing
started
happened.
scrolling again
That's
like I
when
was
something
invisible.
in me flipped.
That was it.
I wasn't
That
going to
was
just
the
sit
line.
back and shrug
You
it
ever
off.
get that little
I
voice
wanted
in
him
your
to
head
feel
that
that
says,
sting, that
"You know
moment
what?
of panic.
Enough."
When he realized he'd messed
Mine
with the
was
wrong
screaming.
person.
For
I looked
2
at his
weeks I
bag,
kept checking
a
the
big,
app.
overstuffed
Every few
backpack,
days, I'd
and
see the
thought if he
AirPods
won't
pop
move
up
it,
in
I
a new
will.
spot.
Scene
It
4,
became
the action.
almost a ritual.
Without another word,
My
I
friends
reached
thought
down,
I was
grabbed the
overreacting.
bag, felt the weight.
It's just
checking for
AirPods,
anything
man.
fragile.
But it wasn't
And then
about
in
that
one
anymore.
smooth motion,
It was
chucked
about
down
respect.
the aisle.
I'd
I'd
done
slid
the right
halfway
thing,
across the
played
train
fair,
car,
given him a
bumping
chance.
into someone's
And
foot
he
with a
decided
soft
to
thud.
double down
The
on
entire
dishonesty.
car went silent.
So I started planning.
Even the music cut
If I
off
could just
for a
catch
moment,
him in
like
one
the phone
place long
itself
enough,
was
I could
shocked.
confront him.
The kid shot
Not
up
aggressively,
instantly, eyes
just
wide.
"What the hell,
Directly.
man? Go get
Firm.
my bag."
The kind of
I
calm
looked
that
him
makes
dead in the
liars
eyes
sweat.
and said,
2
calm
weekends
as ever.
later,
I
you
was
can
back
either
in
go
town
get it
visiting
yourself,
the same
or we
friends.
can fight for it.
And of course
Your
I checked the
choice.
app.
And
More
that's
out
when
of
it
habit
hit him.
than hope.
And there
He
it was.
finally looked me
Connected.
up and down. Charging.
90 kilos,
My
broad
stomach
shoulders,
flipped, and definitely
he was
not
close.
in the mood.
I watched
His
the little
smirk
dot
disappeared
settle
real
at Chuck
quick.
E. Cheese.
For about 5
Of all
seconds,
places,
he just stood
I laughed
there,
out loud,
torn between
no
pride
way.
and self-preservation.
My friends looked over,
Then,
and I
without
told
a
them
word,
what was happening.
he stomped
Within
down
minutes,
the aisle
we
to
were
pick
in the
up his
car,
bag.
following
Seeing
that
that
glowing green
the
breadcrumb
victory
on my phone
the
screen.
second he left,
Every
I sat
mile,
down.
the anticipation
Then I
built.
looked at the 3 people
Part of me was
standing
nervous.
nearby.
I mean,
and
who
said,
actually tracks
"Plenty
someone
of
down
room
over
now.
something like this?
Sit down."
But the bigger part,
they hesitated for
the
a
one
moment,
that remembered his
probably
smug
wondering
little,
if I was serious,
didn't find anything,
but then smiled
that
and took
part
the
was
seats
ready.
beside me.
We pulled
You
into
could
the
feel
Chuck
the
E.
quiet
Cheese parking
ripple
lot.
of approval from
It
the
was a
rest
bright
of the
Saturday
car.
afternoon.
The kind of unspoken,
Families,
collective
kids screaming
screaming
in
in
joy.
The
The
smell of
strangers
pizza
share
and
when
plastic
someone does
tokens
what
in
they've
the
all
air.
wanted to do.
I scanned the lot.
When the kid
my
came
phone
back,
leading
his
me
face
closer
was
and
red.
closer, not
And
from
then
anger
ping.
but
The
humiliation.
signal stopped moving.
He
There
saw
it
us all
was,
sitting
his car,
there, calm,
same
composed,
license plate,
and completely
same
unbothered.
faded lift
You
sticker on the
can't
window.
just I turned to my friend.
He started yelling,
"All right,
waving his hand.
let's do this."
I just looked at him
inside
again,
and found a
same
security
tone,
guard
and near
said,
the front desk.
"The only way
I
I'm
explained
moving
the
is if you
situation
start a fight."
calmly, clearly,
Your call.
showing him the
He
app,
froze.
the name,
You
even
could picture
picture
him
the
thinking
driver
it
from my
over,
lift history.
how it would look,
To my
what would
surprise,
happen.
the guard
And
didn't
then,
brush me
after
off.
one last frustrated
He
grunt,
frowned, nodded, and
he
said,
turned and stormed
"Wait
off
here
to
a
another
sec."
car. Then
Doors
he disappeared
closed.
into the crowd
Silence.
of birthday
Then
balloons.
someone
and
behind me
arcade
chuckled,
noise.
and the
Minutes
tension
later,
broke.
he came back.
Scene 6.
With him walking
The
behind.
aftermath. The driver
I sat
looked
there,
startled,
heart still
caught
thumping,
off guard,
trying to look as calm
His
as I'd
eyes
sounded.
darted from me
'Cause
to my phone
truthfully,
to the guard.
My adrenaline
I took a
was
breath,
off the charts.
stepped forward, and
Part
said,
of me felt like
"Are
a
you
total
driver's
savage."
name?
The other part.
He hesitated,
liberated,
just for a moment,
was it
then
petty?
said,
Yeah.
But when you watch
my
someone
voice came
act
out
like the
steadier
rules
than
don't
I
apply to them,
expected,
and
you
then see
stole
them
my
realize they're not
AirPods.
untouchable.
Silence.
There's something
You could feel
deeply,
the air
deeply
tighten.
satisfying
He
about
looked
it.
around like
The rest
maybe
of the
he could
ride
laugh it
was
off.
peaceful,
But the
the
security
music
guard
was gone,
stood there,
the seats
arms
were full.
crossed. And
My
for the
friends
first
were
time that
watching.
morning, everyone looked
His
comfortable.
family, wife,
I even
kids,
caught an older
maybe
woman
cousins,
across from me smiling.
started gathering
That
behind
subtle,
him,
grateful
confused.
kind of smile
He
people
muttered
give
something
when someone
about
else
not
does the
knowing
thing
what
they
I
wish
was
they
talking
could.
about.
That kid
But then I
learned
lifted
something
my
that
phone,
day,
showing him
that
the
public
Find My
spaces
screen,
are for
that
everyone,
glowing icon
that
sitting
the world
right there.
doesn't bend
That
for
was
your
the moment
convenience,
his face changed,
and that sometimes
you could see it.
Karma comes
That
wearing a
exact
commuter's
second the lie
backpack
crumbled,
and a fed-up
without
expression.
another word,
And
he
me,
sighed.
I
reached
learned
into
that
his
standing
pocket
up for
and
yourself,
pulled out
or
my
for
AirPods
basic
case.
decency, the same
Doesn't
one
make
I
you a
dropped
bully,
weeks earlier,
makes you human.
He
Look,
opened
I
it,
don't think I'm
hesitated,
some hero.
then quietly
But
put
I
the
do think
AirPods
that
back
kid will
inside,
think twice next
like a
time
kid
before
returning
acting like the
stolen
world
candy.
owes him 5 seats
And in
and
that
a
ridiculous
soundtrack.
Chuck E. Cheese
Sometimes
parking
all
lot,
it takes is
surrounded
one
by
bold
flashing
reminder
arcade
that
lights
respect
and the
isn't
faint
optional.
sound of children's
It's
laughter.
earned.
If this
He
story
handed
gave
them
you
back to me.
secondhand
It
satisfaction,
was almost surreal,
or made you wish you were on that train,
his family stood
smash that
awkwardly
like
by
button
as he mumbled
tell
an
me in the
apology
comments,
and turned away.
What's the
I
rudest
didn't
public
gloat.
behavior
I
you've
didn't
ever
yell.
witnessed?
I just
And
said,
don't forget to
next
subscribe
time
for
just
more
tell
true
the
stories
truth
of
and
instant
walk
karma
off.
and sweet,
As we left,
sweet
my
revenge.
friends burst out
Because
laughing.
sometimes the kind of laugh
Justice
that comes
doesn't
from
need a
disbelief
court
and relief
just
all
a
at
crowded
once.
train and
Me,
the right person
I
to
just
say,
felt calm,
enough,
lighter. Not because of the AirPods, those were replaceable, but because for once, someone who tried to take advantage of me got exactly what he deserved. Justice doesn't always come easy. Sometimes you have to chase it, even into a Chuck E. Cheese. That moment, watching him hand them back, his family waiting in embarrassed silence, that was it. The universe balanced itself out. Not through anger, not through violence, but through quiet, undeniable truth. He knew. He knew. Everyone around us knew. He'd been caught. It's funny, I felt bad for him for about 5 seconds. But then I remembered how easily he'd lied. How he probably would have done it again to someone else. Sometimes doing the right thing means standing your ground, even when it feels uncomfortable. Because honesty, it only matters if you're willing to defend it. If that ending gave you chills or just made you believe in karma again, smash that like button. And tell me in the comments, would you have tracked him down? Or just let it go?